will see some crazy like that happen. Then I will buy the rest of 25% in the first half of October. The dates and telling you how to trade with those dates with just one indicator.
Welcome to Investing Insights with Ben. My name is Ben, 13 years in market and nearly 5 years trading full-time. My edge comes from cycles, spotting when stocks and crypto are primed for big moves. Combine technical analysis, order book flows, and even astrocycle studies to time entries and exits with precision. The goal? 5% to 10% portfolio gain per month consistently, and returns that beat broader market and even hedge funds. If you want timely strategies you can apply right now, hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss the next setup.
Hey, welcome guys to Investing Insights with Ben. I hope you guys are excited. I just want to tell you guys some crazy stuff that we're expecting in the market. Well, first of all, let's look at what we talked about in previous few videos. In the middle of September, I told you there was a dip in crypto coming and possibly stock market as well. The stock market dip was not that huge, but there was a decent buying opportunity in crypto. And we bought on September 25th. And Bitcoin was priced at, I believe it was close to $109,000, $110,000. And then since then, you've seen Bitcoin rip through and it has reached $125,000, $126,000. But let's look at what I told you in the middle of September. Because the next move up after the end of September, I'm expecting is going to be a huge move. Bitcoin has the similar dates as well, 15th of September, 16th of September to about 25th, 24th, about the same time frame. Since then, the prices have gone up, altcoins have gone up, Bitcoin has gone up, stock market has gone up. But last week, in my video, I mentioned that there is going to be another dip coming, possibly within the first 2 weeks of October, and that's going to be another buying opportunity. Today is the 7th of October, and we're actually in the downward momentum right now. And I will show you guys the prices and I will show you guys what I'm expecting. But I am telling you that this is going to be another buying opportunity. Then we will see some crazy prices going up in the crypto industry. So let's get started. We'll start off with Bitcoin. As you see here, I mentioned that there is going to be a buying opportunity coming, a dip coming towards the end of September. I gave you guys, I believe, 16th of September to 25th, little after 25th, that this might be the window where the drop comes. And I literally mentioned that before the drop started. And then it came. And then I always tell you to look at the Stochastic RSI. And then when the momentum starts going upwards, which is the blue line, moving, crossing up above the orange line, that means the momentum's to the upside, that's when you're buying. So you can go to the 4-hour time frame and you can see this is when the buying opportunity was. So there's two crosses here, so you could have bought at either one, or you could go to a little higher time frame, 8-hour time frame, and this is that time frame, and then there's only one cross here and you start buying at that time frame. Or if you want to play safe, then you just go to the daily time frame and then you can buy there, which would have been here. There's only one cross. The timing, you see, it will not whip you out of the position. If you don't know the timing, if you're buying over here, there's like 3-4 crosses, this is not a bad opportunity to buy either, to be honest. But I gave you the dates, and if you just looked at this, was a smooth trade. And now I told you last week there's a dip coming. So what do? When this blue line starts coming towards the orange line, you can sell. I'm not selling. I'm actually going to be, I took profits on some very, very small, like less than probably 15% of my positions, because I plan on buying those positions again. So Bitcoin, I don't think is going to go down too much. I could be wrong. It doesn't matter. If it goes to 90K, which is not going to 90K, but let's say Ben's expecting it's only going to 118, but it went to 90K. Well, I don't care. It can go to $10, and when the timing comes and when the RSI is going to flip, that's when I'm going to buy. So I can wait and I can ride it up. But that just to be clear, I am not expecting a huge drop. It might go to these levels. So I have like 121 alarm or alert set up. and 118, 116. I don't think I'm buying at 121, maybe below 120 is when I'm going to start buying. So there's some pivot here, so that might be where the price starts going up, or it can go down a little more, but I don't think it's going to go to these levels. So maybe you start buying again at these levels. But the time frame I'm looking at is between the October 7th and October 13th. This is when the chop is going to happen, and most likely the 13th of, let's look at what I'm seeing here. Yeah, so most likely the 13th of October is when the bottom's is going to be in, and that might be a good buying opportunity on the 13th. But again, I'm just giving you a date. So there's a range in this, and if you see the daily starts coming back up, it could be from the middle, it could be from the bottom. When it starts flipping up, you get ready and you start buying. Now, this is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm just sharing what I plan on doing. Be mindful of that. There are some great buying opportunities in the altcoins as well. Altcoins did not do as well as Bitcoin did, but when the altcoins start flipping bullish, they're gonna start ripping like you haven't seen before. If you were in the 2021 market or 2017 market, you have seen. But anybody who didn't see that bull market, we can expect something crazy like that to happen. So again, I'm still bullish in Bitcoin. I'm still bullish in altcoins, crypto in general, and this would be a buying opportunity. Now, going forward, I'm seeing some signs of a correction happening in November. So first of all, if you haven't seen my videos before, go watch the video. And I mentioned that on September 25th, I put in 75% of my crypto portfolio into work. I left 25 alone just in case this move wasn't that great, and then we see another dip, then I will buy the rest of the 25% in the first half of October. What I'm planning on doing is I'm going to deploy the rest of the 25% closer to that toward 13 date or whenever the RSI flips. And then we can see some good times going into November. If I look closely into the November dates, I am seeing possibly, let's take a look here. Problem with giving you dates way ahead of time, and 2 weeks or 3 weeks, 4 weeks is way ahead of time, because the smaller, how do I figure out these dates, right? I study cycles and I see the patterns, and then I figure out, I project what I expect when the pivot is going to happen. It's easier to look at the longer term cycles, like the daily cycle, the weekly cycle, and then pinpoint at one date. So right now I can pinpoint at November. Right now it's looking at the first week of November, like maybe November 5th to 7th, 8th. That's when I'm seeing Bitcoin peaking, and then there's a pivot, and then it's going to come down into possibly late November, early December. It's not that it's going to start crashing, but I don't see that as a positive momentum happening at that time. So you're not going to see Bitcoin just ripping through. It could just chop, it could go up and down and bring us more buying opportunities. But those dates, so that's why it's very important to watch every one of my videos, because the short-term cycle, so I study the 4-hour cycle, I study the 1-hour cycle, and what happens is those dates will change, because the smaller time frame cycles, there's many 1 hours left until the 1st of November and many 4 hours left. So those 4 hours and 1 hour cycles and change the dates as well. So it's very important to watch every one of my videos, and please do me a favor. Share these videos with your friends and family and give me a like. This really helps my channel growing. I've been giving you really good information and on-time information. If you guys want me to continue making these videos, at least you can like and share these videos and subscribe to the channel, so I have more and more people watching these videos and get some motivation to work even harder to give you better information. So that's the plan for Bitcoin and crypto. Now let's go to stock market. So stock market, it's not looking very good, and it's kind of conflicting, right? Like, how is crypto supposed to rip and stocks not do so well? Well, there's two factors to it. I think there is the growth stocks, the hyped stocks. Those are actually doing really well. And that's what is helping market go up and up. But the cycles are not looking very bullish. Sometime in October, if I were to point out a date, it's looking like mid to late October, we will start possibly towards the end of October, maybe 24th, 25th, we could start seeing some negative momentum in the stock market. When I say stock market, I'm looking at the SPX. Here are some important dates. These are short-term dates. I'm looking for a high on October 9th and low on October 13th. So what does that look like? What does that mean? I don't think, and I don't care, to be honest, if the October, say, so I'm on 2 week. So I'm on 2 week time frame because I was looking at this. It looks like the 2 weeks momentum is shifting down. So which could be a little concerning, but look at this. It was turning down over here too. And then it still went up for another 2 months. So it's not nothing that's too concerning, but it's matching with the cycles, and that's what should be a little concerning. Now, those dates that I mentioned, October 7th. So if we look at October, or was it? Let me see what it was exactly. October 9th and October 13th, which is, today is the 7th. From 9th to the 13th, which is not very many days, just this time frame is not very bullish. So you might see some dip, minor dip, and then it'll start going back up again until the October 21st. So this is what, let's just say, goes down, and then it starts going back up until the 21st. And then after 21st, maybe it starts coming down. The time frame for the bullishness is, or sorry, the bearishness, let me see where it went. Okay, right here. So I have S&P 500 bearish phase until December, question mark. It is, the momentum is not very good for the overall market until like early December. So basically November is not very bullish month for the stocks. Now, I do want to mention that the cycles don't tell you, they do not tell you if the market is supposed to go up or down. It's telling you that this is not a bullish phase or this is not a bearish phase. If it is a bullish phase or a bearish phase. So if you look at August, August was not a bullish month for cycles. And what happened in August is we started, this is August 1st, and if you look at September, so this was the fate. So the market actually went up still. Market went up and gained about 4%. Ben, you just said it's not bullish. It's bearish month. So how did it go up? Well, actually, if you look at it, it started off here. And then the 1st of August, it dropped significantly. So if you realistically look at it, it only gained 1.34%. But what I'm trying to tell you is that the market doesn't have to come down significantly. It is just not a bullish phase for the market. But it could come down as well. So what do? You look at the RSI, daily RSI, stochastic RSI cross, and then if you want to take a short, you start taking shorts here. And then you get out when the market starts, the RSI starts flipping back up again. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for these dates. And I go, okay, October, if you want to take, this is a shorter time frame, so this might actually be starting already, right? As it looks like, but let the wick complete, and then you can take shorts. But this is when the major bearish momentum starts, and if somewhere around this date, October 21st, I see this happening, that's when you actually start shorting the market and then protecting. Well, there's two ways to deal with that. Number one is protect your profits. So you get out of the market, and then if you want to take shorts, you can take shorts. A lot of people don't want to take shorts, and that's fine. You just wait until the next bullish phase comes, and I'll be the first one to tell you when that phase is going to start. Let's look at what is going on with the stock market. Well, Bitcoin is bullish. Well, actually, like I said, Bitcoin can have some correction in November as well. But why am I so bullish on crypto but not so on stock market? So I looked into it, and it is actually the Magnificent Seven. That's the top 7 by market cap stocks in S&P 500, and they are actually not bullish. So that's what is going to drag the stock market down, because their indicator that you can, it's called time cycles. It's a pattern that you can use as well. This is like the easiest way to see the cycles. Now, it's not very accurate, but I just drew it here so you guys can understand. So what you see is, you see when this bottom comes here, it matches the bottom here. This bottom here is close to the bottom here. This bottom here is close to the bottom here. So when it goes up and it comes down, the market goes up and the market comes down. And then towards the end phase of this cycle, you get the top. What happened this time? Towards the end phase of this cycle, you got the top. Now where are we? We're towards the end phase of this cycle. So this is the easiest way to understand cycles, but I go much, much deeper. I go a lot before, and I go onto the 4-hour time frame and daily time or 1-hour time frame, and try and figure out what are the smaller term cycles saying and what are the bigger term cycles saying. And they're all calling for Magnificent Seven, not in a bullish phase going into December. So be watchful. If you have profits, I would take profits. Again, not a financial advice, but that's what I'm seeing in the industry. And I looked at IWM as well, and IWM, this is the small caps. They're not very bullish either. There's some stocks individually that I've looked at, and I've actually had positions in those as well that are doing really good, and I expect some of them to do really well as well. And most of them are AI stocks, quantum stocks, and crypto stocks. That's where I have most of my money in right now. And there's going to be a significant change in these sectors coming up after October 21st, which is the date I gave you for the stocks that bearish momentum will start. There's going to be a shift in the type of industry that you want to be in, and I will update you as the time comes with more confirmation where I'm going to be putting my money in. So stay tuned. Again, my videos usually come in the middle of the week, every week. And so if you actually hit the bell icon, you will get notification every time my video drops. And last thing I want to discuss today is, it's a simple trade. Anybody can do these trades as I explained to them. This was discussed a few weeks back, BM&R. And I mentioned to you that I'm not using cycles on this. You actually can, because the shorter term, it's a very new company. And it doesn't have bigger cycles, but you can use smaller cycles and you can see the phases, how they're developing. And I am using smaller cycles as well, but you don't have to. Like, it's very easy. I mentioned to you here, literally here, that when the market was supposed to turn down, I saw that there's momentum shifting down here as well. So we got out in this time frame. Now, I actually used 4-hour time frame, but you can use daily time frame as well. I mentioned to you, we took this trade over here. Look how easy. You just enter here. You could have entered here, since you didn't know that, when the cycle's calling for an entry. But we entered somewhere here, and then we rode all the way up and then we saw the negative momentum and we got out. Like, these are huge profits, almost 100%. I don't think we gained 100%, it was less than 100, but it's huge profits. Then it started coming down. We didn't short this stock. You could have, but look, you could have shorted this, but we didn't. I prefer just long in the stocks, and very barely I will short to hedge my positions. But then it started going back up again, and stochastic RSI here. If you know the cycles, this is the time to buy, and you could have bought here, and you could have went all the way here and gained another 41%, right? Now, this is when I mentioned to you that we're out of the stocks because now the bearish time comes. Then I told you there's going to be a dip, not in the stock, overall general, but this is a crypto stock. So I told you there was a dip, and that's a viable dip. And then look, it crossed over again. You could have bought here, right? You could have bought here, and you could be up again 25%. So within 2-month time frame, you could be up 150, 200% on your capital just by using cycles and the stochastic RSI. Now, I have my own indicator that I use, that we've developed, and I use my own cycles, which helps me get precise entries and exits. But you can trade on your own if you have technical knowledge, technical analysis, you understand that. And you can trade on your own, and I make it as easy for you as possible, giving you the dates and telling you how to trade with those dates with just one indicator. But we do have a Discord channel as well, and we are taking new members. So if you understand charts, if you understand what I'm explaining to you, you're a perfect match. You don't have to be any expert. You just have to understand what I'm saying. I share my personal trades in the Discord channel, and you're more than welcome to join us. If you're interested, there is going to be information in the description of the YouTube video for you to join. And I wish you luck if you do it on your own, and I will continue to give you the best information possible. That's it for today, guys. I will update you next week again about what I'm expecting. It's very important to watch every week's video because sometimes the smaller time frame cycles change, and that can change the daily time frame cycles by a few days. And especially in crypto industry, sometimes we see large orders coming through on the order book through institutions, and that can change a lot of things. If you understand, like, there's insider information that gets passed on to the institutions, and that's when they start putting large orders on the order book. And that's very important to know, because if you're just waiting on certain date but you don't know that somebody is going to pull the plug 5 days before you're expecting to sell, then that could change a lot of things. So it's very important to make sure that you watch all the videos. And if anything changes between me making videos from between the weeks, I will make a small short video so I can alert you guys as soon as possible. Alright, cheers guys, take care.
Remember, timing is everything. Edge comes from discipline, not luck. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the setup that can move your portfolio.